Hey, it's Jim. Just out in the shop reassembling that 7310 that I just ported. Um, Giving you guys a look at some of the components as well as some of the work I do with these. I'm really impressed with how well designed they are. Anybody that's worked on a Husky 371, 372, you'll see some similarities in the layout, but they've really engineered these thoroughly. They've addressed a lot of the things that normally strip out on the Huskies, etc. So I'll try and capture some of that. One of the things that just about everybody that runs these really appreciates is this cyclonic air filtering system. So it basically picks it up off the back edge or the side of the flywheel. So a lot of the big chunks are already pre-sorted. It does push the air into the air box. It swirls around this way. So as it comes in, it blows across. And again, it takes your bigger chunks and pushes them through. And then they're actually pulled out off the flywheel again. There's a port here that basically brings them back through and gets rid of them. So pretty impressive. Anyway, top cover is quarter turn. There's steel slots that these guys go into, and I showed you a trick on making sure your top cover bolts don't fall out. So anyway, yeah, it's Thursday here, so enjoy the rest of your week. You got probably one more day and a half left. Okay, take care, bye. And this 7310 has the full wrap handlebar. I'll just show you. It's all loaded with inserts that reinforce it so that this doesn't get crushed. The bolts actually go into sleeves, steel sleeves, inserts in the plastic tank handle, so none of that strips out. Same on the other side. I add a little bit of tubing, just fuel line, to limit how much range the thing can flex here. But anyway, we'll get this slap back on. All right, your plug wire already has a protector over it. Everything also is locked in place well to avoid any chafing from vibrations, etc. So it's really, like I said, thoroughly planned out saws. All right, we're putting her back together. The carb and filter mounts and stuff, these use a AV on them as well. It actually, when you're messing with it, you'll see it looks quite similar to a 372 or whatever. Choke lever, all this stuff, to me anyways, is really well thought out, like I was saying before. And we'll go to the next step here. But yeah, everything that screws in screws into metal. It's not just into plastic where it's going to strip out. So it's really good stuff. And then they have this kind of a diaphragm plate that goes over the carb and everything. It's a really good quality rubber that they've used, so that also ensures you're not going to end up with the fines sneaking in and all that. Okay, so that bolts on. There's your air deflector that blows kind of the pre-sorted air in that doesn't have as many chips and stuff in it. And then basically it looks like it's kind of a cyclone action there that also ensures the bigger chunks stay away from the filter. And then they're blown over to add a little bit more cooling, I think. We'll show you on the top cover. Okay, and then the filter, it really locks in a really positive way. Whoops. I don't know if I can do that one-handed, looking through the viewfinder. Yeah, there we go. So it really ensures that nothing gets through. I normally put a little bead of grease, just wipe a film of it around all the filters. Doesn't matter what brand, but anyway. Another thing I like with the 7310s, they've drilled the end of the crank with a little channel for your grease, for greasing your clutch bearings. So you can do that very easily without having to take your clutch drum off or anything there. It's just straight in. And so I'm just kind of trying to demonstrate that. But basically the way you would end up doing that is obviously with your clutch drum on there and everything's still assembled, and then basically just give it a pump. I'd probably rotate that around a little bit. You can see that the little dab of grease is poking up, so that's plenty. Just really well planned out saws. It seems like the key to them is ensuring that it's easy to do maintenance, and that's one of my beliefs as well, that if you build it so people don't have the struggles to do the maintenance, then they're that much more likely to actually do it. So, and I know I said it a few times before, but these 7310s really are just really well thought out saw. They've incorporated so many good features, like a tank protector. All of their fittings actually have a steel or aluminum insert in there, so you're not just stripping out plastic. You know, just really well thought out. The recoil cover, I got it off right now, but it's metal, not plastic. They're just really durable, really well designed saws. So a little bit of work to make them rip, but you're never going to have the issues you do with a lot of other ones. Just kind of mocked up the muffler mount on the 7310 just to show you guys a bit more about how these ones are set up. They use a carriage bolt, and their cases are cast so that there's a slot for the carriage bolt to sit in there. Has this super heavy duty washer. Actually, I got it on the wrong side, but anyway. And then this cross brace. These are 10 mm nut. So yeah, that way you're not stripping the bolts out like so frequently happens with the Huskies that these have a few similarities with. The one thing I do is use a little bit of goop just to hold the carriage bolt in so they're not falling off when you're doing maintenance stuff. Anyway, have a good one. And there's the carriage bolt in place there with the goo holding it. So you'll have to forgive the shakes here if I had a little too much coffee this morning, just freehanding this one. This is a clutch cover off the 7310. Does have captive bar nuts. Sometimes they jam up a little bit, so it's best to take them off evenly, a bit at a time on both sides. But what I was going to show you was the chip deflector. So this is kind of the modification that I make on these. They do seem to kind of bind up a bit as well with the chips plugging up at the back. So seems like with this opened up, it just allows stuff to flow out the top when it needs to and not get pinched off in there. But anyway, I'll be doing that later on. Just marked it so I remember. Another word of advice with the Echo 7310s, when you're removing your handlebar, these bolts are in there with a thread locker, so I always break them loose with a tool before just hitting them with the impact driver. My first 7310 that I bought personally, I ended up actually breaking one of these bolts off. The thread locker is really good stuff, and when I just hit the button on the impact driver, it snapped off. So save yourself some hassle.